Yeah.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start. One play, 10 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
All right, let's get it.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 2nd down and 4, Darnold got his man complete over the middle. It's Hubbard. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is,
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Now Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. There he goes left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Darnold from the gun. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Carolina. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Oh, how about this? It's no good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly will be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, Jackson will keep it. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. That's going to be caught. It's Shenault. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it's a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Chuba Hubbard with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers get a bit closer. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat. Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect we go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2. Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive, because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal. A loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Darnold. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit, because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
They'll set up the screen to Drake. Shifts by him, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. In motion comes the tight end left. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. On first and goal, Drake. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Jackson's going to try the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Lamar Jackson, as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens continue to pull away here in this first half. This time, the extra point up and good, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And it's caught. Touchdown. Laviska Shenault in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will cut the lead down to 15. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And now here's another interception. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback, right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. And he's got room. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are able to cut into that deficit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And this is back to an 8-point game. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Jackson. This goes out wide for Drake. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. .21 yards. Well done on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 168 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll go again here with Hubbard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. To throw is Darnold. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 4th down, Darnold. He's got the connection to Moore. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player so as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Jackson will keep it, and he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Flushed in, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fourth down, here's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And he is going to be out of bounds a mile away from that yellow line, and that will become a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Finding space at the 40, and they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Darnold. Connection made with Shenault. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Darnold to throw. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Darnold. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Baltimore, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.